Starts up. What's up, guys? We're back at Universal, and I got my buddy Jacob with me today.
Hello.
We were able to get some cheap flights, and work was getting a little stressful, so we decided to just pack up for the day and come out and have us a good day trip at the Universal. So I think today's video is going to focus on how we plan this trip, exactly how much it cost us, and hopefully by the end of the video you'll have a good idea of how to plan your own day trip, whether it be at Universal or wherever destination you'd like to go.
For our epic day trip, we chose Universal Studios, but you can take this trip outline and use it for any destination. Universal is just a repeat destination for me due to its iconic theming. When I escape to Universal, I can just leave the stress of the workplace behind and drift off into the magical world of Harry Potter, enjoy some good food, and let some stress go on some thrill rides. However, your happy place might be somewhere completely different. My goal is to show you, by using our trip, that a day trip is possible. Stay tuned until the end of the video, because I do have a few things to warn you about before you go on your own day trip.
Alright, first things first, you've got to get your flights ready for a day trip. And what I mean by that is you've got to find something that leaves early in the morning and comes back pretty late at night if you're going to make the most of your day. For instance, for our trip here, we had Spirit flights that left out at 5 a.m. and we're not going home until midnight tonight. It's going to be a long day, but it was the only way we could really justify coming to Universal for the day.
Also, the flights are very affordable, making your overall expense for the day less.
So, and the way you find that is you don't just pick a day that you want to go on your day trip. We looked at the schedule, like Spirit or American Delta, any of them should have
Southwest.
They should have a fare calendar that you can get on and see which days are the cheapest to go on a trip.
And just adjust the days until you find one that's affordable
Just
for you.
plan your trip around the cheapest days if that's what you're looking for. So, for instance, for our trip, we were able to get on the flight here for $30, and I think our flight home was $40. But what's really nice is we got in on a Spirit card that gave us 50,000 points. The flight here was 2,500. The flight home, it's another 2,500 points. So these flights were free, and all we had to worry about was food and transportation.
Use the points to your advantage.
Roger. I'll let Sir Wallace know that something's happening out there. This cannot be good.
So some of the extra expenses that you need to consider are your Uber costs from the airport. It's typically $35 each way, so $35 to the parks or wherever you're going, $35 back once you're done. The food, at least at Universal, is about $10 per meal per person. And if you're going to have any alcoholic beverages, those are about $11, $12 a piece. So depending on how much you consume, got to factor that in.
While this is all very doable, before attempting a trip like this one, you need to mentally prepare yourself. Depending on how close you live to your destination, and how much time you decide to allot yourself for the trip, this section can vary widely. However, with the trip that I just outlined, you need to prep yourself and come to the realization that it's going to be a long day, and while you're going to have a ton of fun, you're also going to come back exhausted. This particular trip we did on a Wednesday, and even though we got back to our homes at 2 a.m., we still got up and went to work the next day. While that might sound crazy, and I guess it kind of is, I promise you can handle it, and I think the novelty of doing a trip like this makes it worth trying at least once. So, long story short, anyone is capable of making this trip happen. You can make the trip as cheap or as expensive as you want, and the pace of the trip is entirely up to you. For anyone who lives a busy life and just wants to be able to make a quick getaway to recoup, I can personally vouch that this is a valid method of achieving that. I have now done 4 day trips exactly like this one, and I have a 5th one planned in the near future. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, or maybe you've done a similar trip, I would love to hear about it down in the comments. Alright, that's all I've got for you this week, but be on the lookout for more content, and if you are looking for more travel tips or news, go check out some of my other videos. Thanks for watching.